Hi everyone. As you know, today is our country in our culture. Today is the last section of the year, Lunar New Year. So in Vietnam we call it as year end section, year end party with the year end. Yeah, and as a traditional. At the year end section, we always have a party with food and a beer. And all of us may join to a different group. For example, for the high school group, for the university group, for the guys that are the same in the homeland, we always have a reason to make a party special for the end of the year. So for today, we also have a year-end class section, but instead of have a beer and food, we have a coach. So year-end coach party. Yeah, and in the when the class today ends, I will give you a gift, but not for now. Until to the end of today, I will give you a gift, a small gift, before you go home to have some funny moments with your family. And I want to notify you all that from this week over to the TED, I will make some live stream section, of course in Vietnamese, for you all to improve or to review or to revise your knowledge regarding to the C# from the beginning. I have make 2 live stream session regarding to this course already in my channel, my YouTube channel. So maybe tomorrow or the Sunday evening or from this week, I continue with some live stream session to catch up with the study progress in the class. And in the maybe whenever you come back the school in the new year, I will post some before you go to the school, back to the school. I will record and make some live stream section about the C#, about this course in advance, and you have to study it in advance at your home. And later on, when we come back to the school, I keep continuing. Do not teach again what I have done in the live stream. And for you, and in this semester, I have 2 classes that have some foreign guy like you. And if I make some live stream for the Vietnamese guy in Vietnamese, so I think that I will record some video, offline video, and I will send to you and some of your classmates in English to do it at home. And you can do it whatever you want, anytime you want, but you will be ready about it before come back to the class. So I think you should write for me your email, and whenever I have a video, I will send you in English. Yeah. So you do not miss any class section. Yeah. Nhắc lại việc shop trong tiếng Việt. Bắt đầu từ chủ nhật tôi sẽ có thêm những cái livestream học kiến thức trước luôn, bởi vì kiến thức của môn này nó quá nhiều và tôi muốn các bạn còn đến 3 môn ở trong kỳ tới liên quan đến C#, cho nên mình cần phải vững về kiến thức. Tôi đã livestream được 2 buổi rồi, và đợt tới trong tuần này, tức là dự kiến là chủ nhật, tôi sẽ livestream các buổi tối, tôi sẽ livestream. Thì cứ anh em không cần phải ngồi trực cái giờ livestream, bất cứ lúc nào vào cũng có, tức là vào là sẽ thấy khoảng cỡ 9 giờ tối tôi sẽ livestream nha. Chắc chắn sẽ không livestream quá dài, qua buổi sáng đâu, trừ bữa nào hứng lên, được chưa? Thì video sẽ được ghi lại để các bạn có thể xem lại sau này, chứ không cứ là phải ngồi trực ngay livestream để tiện lợi cho khung thời gian các bạn, hiểu chưa? Và kiến thức học trước luôn, thì làm ơn phải nghe, phải xem bằng lúc nào đó để sau Tết ta đi tiếp nội dung mới vì kiến thức nó rất nhiều. Vậy được chưa? Tiếng Việt tôi đã live 2 buổi rồi, thì chủ nhật này tôi dự kiến chủ nhật này tôi sẽ live tiếp. Đấy là chia sẻ thêm. And I also have a English version for your guys. And I think that I will post the English version in the YouTube too, for you all to get familiar with the English. Tức là tôi sẽ post luôn cả phiên bản tiếng Anh lên, thì tôi record riêng để cho các bạn nước ngoài có học được. Tự nhiên anh em mình cũng cần phải quen dần với cái việc học tiếng Anh, hay dùng tiếng Anh nha. That is all information regarding to the some notification before the test and for the class today. And today we keep continuing with the array, and I will use some exciting technique regarding to work with the multiple kind of data type, and you have a way to design a class that can fit with multiple data type. The technique is so called generic. And in Java, you know about the generic already. Whenever you use generic with the array list, with the list collection. But we take a look on the C# to see how the generic is implemented in the C#. And you will see that it's so exciting to work with a generic. Whenever you work with a multiple kind of the data types. And for now, we're back to our code, our previous code, to take a look and to review a little before going further in the knowledge and in the class session. Now, back to the last class, we study about the array. But before we work with the array, I have make some notes regarding to the data type. Why I talk to you the data type? Just because the array is a way we declare the multiple variable at the same time, but with the identical and with the same data type. So we need to talk about the data type before we work with the array or some technique regarding to process with the multiple objects. So far, we have two different kind of data type, like in the Java. When we work with the C#, the first one is a primitive data type in the Java to store and to represent the simple value. Primitive data type is a kind of data that stands for a single or simple value like in, long, double, char, float, and boolean. And with the primitive data type in Java, we call primitive nghĩa là nguyên bản, gốc đơn giản, cái lõi. In C#, we call the primitive data type as a value data type. Value data type, like we have take notes on the last class. And for the other is an object data type, reference data type, or pointer. Mean we mention about the complex value. Object data type mean we work with object with a complex value, complex data type. Complex value mean a value that has multiple attribute within it. Cái complex value là cái thứ mà nó chứa bên trong nhiều cái đặc điểm. For example, a student, a singer, a football player, a computer, electricity device, equipment around us. We also have we need multiple information and multiple data to describe about the complex thing. Chúng ta sẽ cần rất nhiều thông tin để mô tả về một con người, một cái đối tượng quanh cuộc sống của chúng ta, equipment. And in the Java, we call it as object data type. But in my lecture, I always do it in a informal way, tức là nói theo cách dân dã mà nôm na. We call it as a pointer data type. Con chó. Pointer mean I stay here, but I talk about a thing over there in a far away. Con chó có nghĩa là đứng đây nhưng nói về chỗ khác. And to store a complex value, we need define a data type like dog, cat. Oh, I make some more comments. You back to the comment to write some more comments like dog, cat. Yeah, a dog. Quite complex to describe about my cat, a person, a student, yeah, and something like that. So to describe a complex thing, we need to define a data type, a general name to call this kind of value. Chúng ta sẽ định nghĩa một cái class, một cái từ danh từ tổng quát để gọi những cái này. Now, in C#, instead of we call object data type, we call it as reference data type. And you know, I also give you a mantra, give you a hint to remember about how to store this kind of information into a camera, into programming environment. For primitive data type, we consume and take only one. We need only one memory block. With the int value, like you want to store your name, store your GPA, you want to store the year of birth, your age in the computer, it take only one memory block. Tức là với cái biến đơn giản, dữ liệu đơn giản, ta chỉ cần một vùng RAM là đủ. But for complex value means we talk about an object, and an object is we need multiple data to describe about it. So we need a huge memory block. Ta cần một vùng nhớ lớn, huge đấy, huge là lớn ha. A big size or a huge memory block to store the multiple value just to describe about an object. And so you know that to describe about a student, a person, a lecturer, and a thing around us, we need a multiple value. Like you describe about a smartphone in thế giới di động. You see, we have two pages to describe about a phone. The first one is overall, but if click on view it on more detail, you see the full specification of a phone: RAM, camera, Wi-Fi, or something like that, and even the screen. Cho nên ở trong thế giới di động bạn có hai cái trang, một cái trang mô tả ngắn gọn và một cái trang xem chi tiết, cấu hình. Cấu hình nó gọi là specification. And so to store a complex value, we need two different kind of memory blocks. One for variable and one for the new object. And you know that we have two kind of different data types, so we have two kind of array. One for primitive and one for an object. And today we work with the object array. Now, back to the last section, we talk about the primitive and the value type array. It's as a like declaration and using it, the primitive array like in Java. You declare with the square brackets and with a new operator. And I also give you a mantra. Remember this mantra for me. The mantra to work with the variable and the value. Mantra in Vietnamese means câu thần chú. Now, the first one. Declare whenever you declare a variable, declare a variable, you declare a variable, that means you want to store a value. To store a value. If you declare a variable, that means you want to store a value. Will take a memory block. Declare a variable will take a memory block. Yeah, and the second one is using new operator. Whenever you're using a huge memory block is allocated. To store the info of an object. Có new là có vùng nhớ mới. And the third is a primitive value variable or value primitive variable, primitive or value type variable take only one memory block. Biến primitive hoặc là value type dùng một vùng nhớ. And object value, object data type, reference date variable is the same meaning. The pointer variable will take two memory block. One for variable, one for a new object. Biến đối tượng cần hai vùng nhớ. Một vùng cho biến, một vùng cho new. Một vùng cho new. So if you try to work with the array, primitive arrays, take a little memory block in comparison with the object array. Cho nên khi mà mình nói chuyện với bộ vùng nhớ của mảng thì mảng primitive dùng ít biến hơn, ít RAM hơn so với mảng object. Just because the object always consume multiple of memory block to store the multiple information. And now, back to our code to work with the two kind of. So we have by reading this mantra, we know that we have two kinds of array. Object array, value type of primitive array, a little RAM used, and object or reference type array. And remember that what I have written here may appear in the final exam. For example, the question in the final exam may ask you, how many data types do we have in C#? You must choose value type and reference type. Do not choose primitive. Just because primitive is the name and the terminology used in Java instead of using in the C#. But in the same, they have the same meaning. They have the same meaning, but different terms. Trong Java thì dùng chữ primitive, nhưng trong C# thì dùng chữ value type. We talk about value only. Cho nên phải hiểu đúng, chọn đúng đáp án. Now, back to our code. Anyone who typing is so in a low speed, slowly, just take a picture of it. I do not wait for you to finish your typing. Now, back to our code. And last we work with an array. And we declare an array by using this standard. It is a standard way to declare a value type array. And remember that define an array, that means define a multiple variable at the same time. Nhớ rằng khai báo biến chẳng qua là khai báo nhiều biến. Khai báo mảng chẳng qua là khai báo nhiều biến. So, later when we finish with the declaration of an array, it's time for you to assign the variable one by one, as normal. Think about that. This statement like a normal variable. Câu lệnh gán này chẳng qua là giống như gán biến bình thường. Đây là một biến. But the name of the variable in array is more complex, a little complex. It need to specify the index within the square bracket. Why? Why is so complicated with the statement like this? Just because an array means declare the multiple variable at the same time with the same name. So the index in here to help you to recognize and to identify each separate variable. Khi tất cả các biến nó trùng tên thì làm sao để phân biệt? Thì phải dùng dấu ngoặc. For example, in this class we have two guys with the name of An. Trong lớp này ta có hai thằng tên là An. So how to differentiate which one is which one? Which An is which An? An nào là An nào? So the teacher always give each guy of An an extra name. An one or an two. An rich or an poor. An nice and nói chung luôn cho một cái tên phụ để phân biệt. And the supplemental name or extra name in with the array is the same. It's the extra name to differentiate between multiple variable with the same name. Để phân biệt được đứa này với đứa kia. So this is the first way we declare. First way we declare about an array. And for now, we move to the second way to define an array. Now, using another method. Create another method. Static. Just go below the main method for easy to understand where you need to put the new method. Static void lightweight value type array version 2 we define an array and in it all of its value at the center. Like you work with you have work with how to define an object by using object initializer. Object initializer means we declare and create a new instance of a class, but we also assign the property type, property value at the same time with creating an object. I think that you have remember this. Student as equal with new student. I use the empty constructor and later I assign the value in here of a property. ID equal with, for example, as E1 and name property. You see, this is a kind of property, and we post a value in here and something like that. It is remember this about the open brackets, like this, and we assign the property for this, a list of property. Ta đưa ra một loạt các giá trị đi kèm vào đây. And with the array, we have a same technique. Instead of we define the array in a one statement like this, and for the next statement we assign the value in a separate statement. Tức là ta định nghĩa và gắn cái giá trị cho cái biến của mảng chứ không phải là mảng, bằng một cái câu lệnh riêng rẽ. And for now we can combine the declaration of an array and the assign value at the one statement. Combine, gom lại trong một câu lệnh. And for now we define a new array. But we still work with the primitive array with the value type int ARR equal with. You see the suggestion. If you type the equal dấu bằng, you see the suggestion. Just tap, and you finish to declare an array. And but within the open and close bracket, you init the value for each variable that belong to an array. And 1, 2, 3 in this case mean we assign the value for each integer variable within an array. Cách này là ta gán giá trị khởi đầu cho mỗi biến đang nằm trong cái mảng. Within doesn't mean nằm trong, inside. Now I make a modification to make it conform with the previous method. 5. I love play with this game in the childhood. Cái game năm 10, 15, 20. 15. And for now it's easy and quickly to init the multiple value of an array instead of using the traditional way, open and close and with the index inside. It's more slowly in comparison with this technique. But each one has also introduced their or its limitation. Nhưng cách nào nó cũng đều có cái hạn chế riêng của nó, chứ không phải là cách nào hay hơn cách nào. With this kind of the declaration, you are fixing the size of the array by the number of values you assign. Với cách này thì cái mảng này có bao nhiêu value thì nó sẽ căn đúng theo mảng đó. With the last way to declare the variable, you can declare I declare even 500 and 1000, but I always use some of them. Reserve the more space to store the future value with this way. But for this one, how many values you assign? That is the size of the array also, the fixed size, to match with the number of values you assign. Cách khai báo này thì dễ, nhanh, nhưng mà giá phải trả là fix bà nó luôn cái kích thước của bạn. Khai báo nhiêu là có nhiêu ạ. No more space for you, for the future value. Tức là không còn không gian để cho nhét những value sau này. No more. So each one will introduce its advantage, also its disadvantage. Cho nên mỗi cách đều có ưu và nhược. Now, but we do not talk about it in more detail. We just talk about how to use this array. 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40, 45, and 50. So for now, we have an array with 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. We have an array. We have declare 10 integer variable. There are 10 variables in one or ARR1 0, sorry. ARR, I make a more space to easy to map with the variable name 0, 1. Tôi đẩy ra để cho dễ dàng map nha. ARR 2, ARR 3, and so on. We have a multiple integer variable and we assign the value also. We assign the value for each integer variable within the array. Ta khai báo luôn, khai báo biến và gắn luôn giá trị cho 10 biến in trong mảng. ARR in here is the general variable to manage all of its members. General variable to manage all of its member. Its member is also a variable. Đây là mình hiểu được ý nghĩa của cái mảng. Mảng là chẳng qua là một cái biến, cái tên mảng ấy, ARR là một cái biến má mì, nó chứa rất nhiều lính ở dưới, mà lỗi lính ở dưới lại một biến khác. Và we work with its member. Chúng ta sẽ làm việc trực tiếp với nó. Now, back to the math subject in the high school. In high school, we work with a set tập hợp. You know that in your math subject, I do not know in your country, but in Vietnam, let me in Vietnam, when we talk about a set, I give you information about something regarding to the math subject in a high school. Now in high school, when we talk about a set of number, a set of in Vietnamese tập hợp, a bunch of, a list of the number. Also, the teacher also say that, oh, gives you a set of integer number begin with a zero, and in the your lecturer will show in the board and write in the board a string like this, and equal with. Let me zoom in. And equal with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, and so on. Let me increase the size of the, yeah. In the high school, we also know about a set of, một tập hợp. Yeah, and sometimes your lecturer will talk about another statement like this. Your lecturer will say that for each number fall in this set, với mọi, and your lecturer will say that the E character with in the rotate. Have your teacher in your country use this? Let me make a modification a little. With or let me make it more. Have your teacher always write this in the board. In your country, do not use this symbol for each x in the math. Your teacher use this. Also use this in math. Yeah, I talk about the math. Yeah, so in the France, they use the same symbol like in our country. In Vietnamese, we call it, translate it into Vietnamese, với mọi x thuộc tập hợp n. In English, we can call this as a string like for each number, for each x, x is a number, and x fall in n. Yeah, with this kind of the statement, we can use and translate it as a for each means take one. For each x, take x, and x has a value of x has a value of n, one member of n. You see, with this kind of the statement, we can translate it in both in English and in Vietnamese like this. So, how to understand this statement? Làm sao để có thể hiểu được mệnh đề này? X, in this case, to translate, x may take the value of 0, but sometimes x will take the value of 1, and sometimes x can take the value of 2. You see. And maybe later on, x will take it. Using the kinds of symbol, a statement will help you to scan the whole of the array. With this guy, I translate it into another meaning. Với cái cách này, đây là cú pháp để giúp mình duyệt qua toàn bộ cái mảng. So, thế thì x will take all of n value. Đó. We scan duyệt qua. We scan the whole of the array. Đây là kỹ thuật giúp chúng ta duyệt qua toàn bộ cái mảng. Kỹ thuật duyệt mảng. Duyệt có nghĩa là ta sẽ kỹ thuật duyệt qua cái mảng. Có nghĩa rằng là cách ta đi qua tất cả các value. Take all the value of an array. Why I talk about the array? Just because it is in the mod trong toán học. But you see. Oh, in the same. Why the same? Let's take it, replace it as a n. Oh, it's a set of một tập hợp like in a subject, mod subject. Có đúng không? Với cách viết này nó giống hệt của bên toán học. And compare with the mod, it's the same. So for now, in the programming language, also offer a technique that help you to scan the whole of the array. We're using for each. For each is a new way to help you to scan the whole of the array. Đến đây hiểu được chưa? Vậy thay vì instead of using for in traditional for I begin with the 0 and I plus y cộng cộng is a more traditional. For now we consider the array as a set of number, set of value like in the math subject in high school. You will use a new technique to scan the whole of the array. Using for each, dùng for each để duyệt. Now, just back to our code. And for now, you can see the array as a set of using for each, like in the math subject in high school. To scan the whole of the array. You can apply that in any array. Despite of how you declare about the array. Tức là cái cách for each này không dùng thoải mái, không cứ là chỉ dùng cho cái mảng khai báo kiểu này, cứ có mảng là dùng được luôn nha. Có cái mảng, đây chỉ là cách mà mình đã khai báo và gắn giá trị thôi, chứ các bạn trên mảng để tập hợp. Because the array is a set of value, so we can use the for each whatever you declare an array. I don't care about how you declare an array. I know that. an array is a set of value. I use for each. For the array in overall. Nói chung là Mảng được quyền dùng overall là for each. Now we have a value, and for now CW the array has values of, and for tab, I do it again, for try for mean h, sorry, tab. You see, oh, like in the math, for each I in array. I won't always replace I with X to the mimic with the high school and to recall you back to the high school for easy to understand. Cái này viết kiểu này có nghĩa là nó giống cái trong toán học này, với mọi x thuộc về tập hợp ARR thuộc N. Đây là cách viết được ưa thích, the most favorite way to work with and to scan the array. Với mọi x, for x is a number and x foreign is a, I make a mistake in grammar. I make a mistake. Let me modify a little for make a tử tế, đúng không? Viết tiếng Anh mình cần biết mình sai mình phải sửa lại. Hồi thứ ba số x, s for x, yeah. Now for x and chart type CWX. CWX. Version 2, V2. Now back to the code. Oh, for now, X will take each of values in array. Each of values in array. And write it. Got it. Oh, it's okay. All of values of an array, initial value of an array is sold and displayed. Let me explain a little regarding to this question, this statement. In x mean in x will be take the value of ARR 0. Later on, x will take the value of next element in the array number 1. X will later on we take the value of the other member of an array like 2 and so on. So within the for each we will scan from the beginning to the end of an array. And with each value of an array is an integer variable, and I assign to x is as a normal statement. We have 10 int variable. Each of is with the index and assigned to x, and we print out the x means print out the each member of an array. But in the internet, you will see may see that a statement like this, or sometimes and most of developer guy will do not need to declare the int like this using var. Most of developer in the world will using var instead of int. Why var? Just because all member are integer. Đây là mảng in mà. Cho nên mỗi giá trị bên in có nghĩa là lấy từng thứ ra, mà thứ ra thì nó phải là biến in. Biến in thì cần gì phải khai báo var int ở trên. Hiểu được chưa? Type inference means we will discover the data type of x during we scan out the array. Cho nên x bản thân sẽ được khám phá cái kiểu dữ liệu của nó thông qua việc đi qua từng phần tử của mảng. This is a most favorite way to write. But whenever you write like multiple lines, so I don't want to write multiple lines, so I write it like concatenating, ghép với một cái chuỗi. And sometimes I do not want to do this. I do it like this. Wait, right, x, I do interpolation. So I put x in here, x with the open, with a space, open bracket. In the second technique, remember to do this. Write without a new line. And sometimes you don't want to do this. You can do verbatim. It's okay. But I think that verbatim in this case is redundant. Nó thừa vì lý do không cần thiết cái này. But I do this. No. 0 and x. Placeholder. Three of these produce the same result. Print a number with the space and fill in. But remember that 0. Now I do only one of them. Make a comment and check it. It's okay for you all. Now, back to the code. It's time for us to work with the student array, object array. Since you know how to assign the value of an array and how to scan the whole of the array. And for now, we want to store all of the information of multiple students. We use the new array. Now, back to the our code, we have the student object also, student class also. Now, see our project structure. We have an entity, a folder, a namespace, a subnamespace, and in this namespace we have a mode, a template, a form to store the students. Later we will create it later. Nào, tức là chúng ta có một cái class nằm trong class tên student dùng để tạo ra hồ sơ sinh viên sau này, mà nằm trong cái folder tên là entity. And it has the basic property like email, name, year birth, and visual. ID for now is so called. You know that always with the property, we call it as a property, a new term. And under and behind each property also have underscore variable to store its value. Underscore means backing field. Backing field means a thing that helps you put it in the background, not appear and show it outside. Cái này là cái backing, có nghĩa là cái đồ nằm phía sau, nó chống lưng cho mình để giúp mình làm việc gì đó âm thầm. Backing field. So backing field. Also a name in background. Underscore in background. And underscore means backing field. backing field will be generated created in background. Tức là luôn có đằng sau trông vậy thôi, nhưng đằng sau luôn có một trông dễ dãi vậy thôi, trông dễ dàng vậy thôi, trông đơn giản. In the quite simple format, but actually in the background we also have a backing field to store the actual value of an object, property of an object. Đấy, tức là đằng sau nó thực sự luôn luôn sẽ có một cái backing field được generate. Now, it's make our code more easy to understand and to save the time to create an object. And for now, I think you need a toString. We need to write a toString method in here. Public override. Have you remember about this? Override string toString. Oh, it suggests for us to have a toString to make sure that you have a good way to show the internal state of an object. Now, to return override toString, to return a string with the full of information of an internal internal of an object. Now, using $sign with a placeholder inside a string to show the state and to return a state of an object, để trả về cái giá trị, cái trạng thái của một cái object. Nào, ID chất type I tab, chất type N tab, chất type E tab, chất type Y tab, and chất type Z G, but sometimes GP. Okay, GP tab is a good way and quickly way to fill in the variable name in a interpolation string. Bạn phải dùng nhiều cho nó quen cái cách này. Gõ mồi. Type some keyword to ask to trigger the suggestion of the Visual Studio. Tức là mình gõ mồi và mình kích hoạt cái việc gợi ý của thằng Visual. And if you see that it's the design one, đó là cái value thích hợp rồi. Just tap. Now, it's time for us to store multiple student value. Back to the main program. Create a new method to declare and to store the object array. Static. Trở lại main. Static. Void. Play with. Instead of using version 2, with object array. We will store multiple student profile, and of course there are two ways to store. There are two ways to store multiple objects. You know that to store an object, we need at least two memory blocks. One for variable, a pointer, and one for the new object. Với một cái object thì mình cần đến hai vùng RAM đấy. Mình học rồi. Một cái là biến, một cái là vùng new. For example, the first one is use declare concrete variable. pointer. Khai báo lẻ. Biến lẻ. Like student x1, s1, s2, s3, s4, s5, and so on. And assign the value for each variable by using new student as a normal, as a traditional way. Yeah. For example, S1 equal with new student, and you can use the object initialize ID equal with SE1 name with and something like that. And the same with the S2 equal with new student. It is the first way to store multiple objects. But I will introduce you the new efficiency way, có một cách hiệu quả hơn, using array and collection. You have heard whenever you work with in Java collection, like in Java we have, and also we have the same, nearly the same in the C#. List, array list, set, and map, and something, some related things and quite similar things. I will talk later. And for now, we are using array for the first approach to work with the multiple objects. Mình sẽ dùng mảng trước. Còn cái mà list, cái array list gì đó, cái set map thì sau này. And it is quite similar with Java. Nó rất giống như Java, rất giống luôn. A little modification, chỉ có chút xíu thay đổi thôi. A little modification. Now we are using the array, an object array. So it's back to the previous method. Int open and close square bracket ARR equal with new int 10 is in the primitive array, and but still done with the same student. Oh, I do not see where the student mode student class is, so just try it again. You see there are two suggestions. The first one is the namespace. Namespace means, oh, I am a student mode, and for now I am located in the student manager namespace dot entity. You can find me at the following part. Go to the subject folder, project folder, and later on go to the subfolder names entity, and you will see me student. Tức là để cái cách mình truy xuất được đến cái khuôn thì mình phải nhớ được cái đường dẫn, like a folder document in your hard disk, in your drive. Tức là mình phải đi đường dẫn. Student manager is the name of the project, and later on sub folder of the project, đó là đi vào thư mục con entity. Bạn sẽ thấy được cái này. Cho nên ở đây nó có hai thứ, namespace và cái class. And whenever you type the class name, you may get the suggestion. Now, student again. Oh, you want to work with student class, or you want to work with the namespace? No, I want to work with a class, and of course, a class is located in the namespace, corresponding namespace. So choose this and hit enter. I want to work with student. Hit enter. In the student manager entity, enter. If you type enter, go to the top of this file to see. Automatically using statement declaration to tell you that I want to buy, I want to borrow some classes that are located in this namespace. And in Java is quite similarity. In Java, it's the statement like import student manager dot entity. You know that the naming convention for the package in Java is all to lowercase. Lowercase, yeah. Trong Java thì cái tên của package nó lại là trở nên chữ thường hết. C# thì ngược lại, chữ hoa từng đầu từ. That's all. But quite similarity about the knowledge. Nha. Về kiến thức thì giống nhau. The meaning is the same, but how to represent in the code is different in the lower and upper case. Nó chỉ khác nhau chữ hoa chữ thường thôi, chữ nghĩa giống nhau. Now, back to this student. Open. Oh, sorry. It's different. Equal with new student. You see. 10 student. And for now, we have, with this declaration, we have AR0 is equal with student S1. Yeah, it's the same. AR2 is the identical and similar rate with the student S2. Nó giống cách khai báo biến lẻ. And for now, to have a student profile, we need to the new student. Again, but different in the brackets. Nó sẽ khác nhau ở cái dấu ngoặc. Dấu ngoặc vuông, to declare. Remember this. To declare multiple variables. Cái ngoặc vuông là để khai báo biến nhé. Not an actual value. Not actual value. Value to store thì phải là new student. New student. With the round bracket. Cái ngoặc tròn ấy. So aside store the student value. Now time to store the student value. Means we use new student as normal. So AR10, sorry. Equal with new student. But if you stop here, the new student will have the empty and full of air information. You remember about it? A constructor without a class without constructor, you still and you can create an object from this class, but the full of information within the class object you fill with the default value. Like I give an informal example like full object with full air, an object with full air. Tức là một object không khí, object được điền giá trị default. But for this second one, I try to create a new student like ID. The second profile ID equal with SE10 and name of this guy is I Diệu An Bình Cường Dũng using that about the I Diệu the alphabet table bảng chữ cái ABC. Yeah. Not mentioned about some specific guy in the our class. Không có dùng một cái tên người trong lớp này. Alphabet A B C. Yeah. And the email and a site. Let me check. For example, and the year birth. You try to put 2000 and GPA equal with. I try to make some more the data with some intended. Cái data cho này tôi đưa vào với một cái vài ý định. I will talk later. Email equal with. And with using this technique to create an object, we call it as a object initializer. Yeah. So when we encounter a question in the final exam like this, choose the object initializer statement to create an object. Đấy, tức là chọn cái câu nào để tạo mới được một cái object. Nếu đầu bài yêu cầu là object initializer, you know how to choose and when and which one to choose. The create an object statement using open and close bracket outside the constructor. Nó nằm ngoài cái constructor. Constructor nằm trong đây. Được chưa? Fill the value for the constructor inside the using the constructor. You put in the round and in round open and close bracket. Tức là sẽ dùng cái ngoặc tròn ở trong đây. And during using the constructor parameter constructor, you can use another technique to pass the parameter for a constructor in whatever order you want by using named argument. Tụi bay còn nhớ name argument không? Name argument là truyền tham số không theo thứ tự. 2 chấm. Yeah. Name argument ID is another technique. Name value, but it must be zero with the parameter constructor with parameter. Đấy, đến đây phải hiểu, nhớ cách cú pháp nào là cú pháp đó, nó rất nhiều cú pháp. Try to review it at home. Now I have another object. Give me some 5 objects, and I give you later on. I will give you a challenge. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. For now, we have 5 students, and I make some modification about the data with some intended to tell you about your challenge at home. 10 and Bing 2005 and 5 0 and SE 45 40. Email. And this guy born in 2004 and his GPA only 4 and 580. Hướng. Email Hướng. Now, I have a list of students with a mix and in an order of information. Tôi đang cố tình tôi trộn cái thông tin nó lộn xộn. And now, print now. Print. I want to print the message. The student list. CW, the student list, like normal. The student list printed by using traditional form. Yeah, we have multiple ways to work with and to print out and to scan out the array. For tap and arr.lang CW ARR. Tell me the meaning of this statement. Anyone can help me to tell me the meaning of this statement. What does it mean of this statement? Khẩu trang của chú như vậy. Mày không gõ đúng không? Mày ngồi mày chat tao biết đấy. Now, tell me what is behind this statement? Anyone remember about this? Yeah, tell me. I do not satisfied with your answer. I still need more information about yeah. Call to string. Yeah, call to string automatically. Yeah, thank you so much. I want to hear about that. Call to string in the background. We always talk about this. This is called a variable, an object variable. And whenever you want to print out the object variable, instead of print out the address of memory, it will call the toString automatically. Yeah, if you want to call it explicitly, it's okay. But the program never call toString directly. Let the runtime do it in the background. So with it, call toString in background. And you know that if you have not installed and implement the toString already, the automatically call the parent toString and will print out the data type. Now, run it to see the result. Nói thật với chúng mày, vượt qua chính mình nó khó lắm các con ạ. Tao nói nghiêm túc. vượt qua chính mình cực khó. Có ngon mình ngồi mình tập trung cho việc học. Của cái đó chỉ cần một thời gian thôi mà. Hết mùa hè năm sau đi vào đời mẹ nó rồi. Có sợ không? Hè năm sau để làm để được trả lương hết hè năm sau. Chúng mày muốn lương cao hay lương thấp một ngày 8 tiếng, cứ suy nghĩ đi. Rồi quyết định là hôm nay chơi hay không. Có lương được chơi đéo muộn. Nhưng mà đéo có lương nên về ăn bám mà báo ông bà già có đáng không? Má cái tình bây giờ phải biết rằng mình nộp đơn vào một cái công ty mà nó có nhận mình hay không. Rồi hàng ngày mình phải code. Giờ code đéo được thì nộp cái chó thì chat đi. Tao không ghét vì cái tội không nghe tao giảng. Bài giảng cho tâm huyết. Sẽ có người thích và có người sẽ không. Kệ. Nhưng tao sẽ để cuộc đời vả vào mặt chúng mày. Nhớ ngày hôm nay tao nói. Buổi học tất nhiên nó quan trọng, tao giảng tử tế mà. Ngày chó nào tao sẽ giảng tử tế. And if you think that you are so good, go out and earn and take the money from the social. Or if you think that you are not qualified with to work with in a company, an IT company, sit here and study. Phải ngồi xuống học cái chứ. Qualify có nghĩa rằng đã đáp ứng được yêu cầu chưa? Tiếng Anh thì nếu nói được chẳng hạn. Tao không biết gì tiếng Anh thì còn dám nói. Nào, run it. Chửi thề đấy. Đồ bất hiếu. It's okay. Why we have a stranger thing like this? The first one, why? Why we have a 0 and empty name and ID? Why? Yeah, we use empty constructor only, and we do not assign a property value. So we have an empty object, still an object, still a valid object, but without information. And we take a default value. So you know how to fill in. Just put some value using the object initializer. So the challenge for you to do at home, but do not need to submit to LMS. Just a challenge for you. Now, so print out the student list challenge at home. Challenge at home. Do not need to submit to LMS. After the test, we will think about it. But for now, you are free to do it or not. Không cần thiết phải làm ở LMS. Tự do, nhưng để hiểu. Challenge at home. Print out the student list by name in ascending order. Print out the student list by GPA in descending order. Sắp xếp. Print out the student list by GPA by geopod in ascending order. Why I ask you to do this? This later on I will tell you about after the test. By implement these kind of requirements, you'll need a smart strategy to accommodate and to satisfy with the different and variation of the user requirements. And I will introduce to you the delegate and dependency injection. just to solve this kind of requirements. Cái bài này ta dẫn vào một cái kỹ thuật gọi là cực kỳ siêu hay, một trong đánh giá là một trong những thứ đẹp nhất của OP. Đó là derivate, là dependency injection. Ta nói thiệt, đẹp lắm, cực kỳ tuyệt vời, chỉ cần thông qua bài đơn giản. Chúng mày chưa bao giờ thấy được điều đó đâu. Hoặc có thể đã thấy mà không hình dung hết. Ta tự tin ta giảng phần nó tuyệt vời. Hay lắm. Và đó là cái cách mà kích thức để mình mở rộng cái app của mình thích ứng với mọi tình huống của người dùng. Vì cái nhu cầu in kiểu này biết thế mẹ nó có bao nhiêu nhu cầu. Để viết code thế nào để phông sở code. Sẽ ít thôi. Cực kỳ tuyệt vời. Chúng mày nếu mà thấy được cái vẻ đẹp đó thì chúng mày sẽ nên không bao giờ, sẽ phải luôn luôn hối tiếc rằng giá kể 3 năm thanh xuân của đại học này mình sẽ không bỏ phí. Tao hứa. Cái tư duy lập trình, tao nói lại của người ta thôi. Tư duy lập trình nó đẹp vô cùng. Còn đứa nào không chịu được cái tư duy này, không cảm giác, muốn cảm giác chờ cái này, vào trong YouTube của tao xem cái bài mà dependency injection tao giảng bằng Java, mà không thích mới lạ. Tao quay cái 3-4 năm. Đấy, cho nên nếu nghĩ rằng mình biết rồi mà nếu còn cái gì để học, tao chửi. Còn nếu đã giỏi thì cần phải giỏi hơn để ra ngoài kia kiếm tiền. And another way for you to earn the money and still to have the degree at you is try to the workforce by apply the position of a freelancer. Có ngon thì đi làm freelance đấy, kiếm tiền. Éo cần phải vào công ty nào cả. Thích làm giờ nào thì làm, vẫn đi học được. Thế tại sao mẹ tiếp đóng 5 triệu vào đi ngồi chat? Tao chửi đó. Ngoài kia có cách kiếm tiền bằng đúng cái trí thức của mình. I am so excited about some of your behavior. Một vài cái hành động chúng mày. But poor your parent. Tội nghiệp ba má chúng mày. Not me, not you. Poor your parent. Tội nghiệp ba má chúng mày. Now, here at home, for now, I move to a heavy topic. Một cái kiến thức nặng hơn. A heavy topic. If you declare the variable, the array of a student like this, it's quite okay. If you manage the student list by using array like this, and even declare it as a static method, it's okay. It's okay. But think about the big solution, a big problem. I need you to help me to input the student profile, and later on I ask you, I make some mistake about the input some student profile. Help me to search one, and I need to edit that profile. And sometimes some of the students do not want to study at our school anymore, so they quit. And in this case, please remove his or her profile from the array. I talk about a full application with the create, update, delete, retrieve, or read. Retrieve or read mean right now. So where to put the code to do this kind of action? I think that put it in here is okay, but it's not a good solution. Just later on, I will ask you some extra tasks like, it's for now. I want you to modify or to write the more code to manage the lecturer profile. Just because our app is intent to make an application to manage school management activity, not for students. So it's time for you to define the new class like lecturer and another array and multiple caret action. Later on, I ask you some more extra tasks like, just because our school has a multiple specialization, So do not use one array to store all of information of all of students regarding to all of major. So separate the student of SE department into one array and separate the student of the GD or the business department into another folder to help me to easy to manage student of each department. And the same with the correct action. It's for now. It's a time for you to rethink about the solution. Oh, there are so much repetitive activity that you need to do for SE student, for IA student, for B student, for graphic design student. So why don't you try to think about the object? Oh, create, update, delete, and retrieve student information of each department is the same. It's the same, quite the same, but a different memory block. So it's a time for you to think about the object, think about the new class to store and to manage all student activity. And if you approach like that, it's a time for you to easy to think about, oh, I apply the same technique to store and to manage the lecturer student, a lecturer profile. And later on, oh, the same technique to manage the subject course, subject class is the same. Nào, tôi dịch từ Việt tiếng Việt. Tao cần quản lý danh sách sinh viên, sau đó tao cần quản lý giảng viên, sau đó tách ra sinh viên của ngành IT, sinh viên của ngành kinh tế, rồi thêm xóa sửa tìm kiếm. Tất cả những công việc này nó lặp đi lặp lại. Vậy nếu mình viết tuyến tính ở trong cái này, đó không phải là cách tốt, vì sẽ bị lặp lại repetitive, lặp lại cái code. Đó là lúc chúng ta phải suy nghĩ những cái thao tác đó chúng ta sẽ đẩy nó vào trong cái khuôn cái class. Và tư duy hướng đối tượng bắt đầu. Later on, if you want to store the information of student of SE department của bộ môn công nghệ thông tin, just clone or create an object with the full activity. And later on, if you want to store the information of the business department, clone an object and we have the full activity, a full package of the action. Tư duy của cái việc thiết kế app sẽ là tạo các class và clone. Mình mới tạo cái class đầu tiên, đừng có vội tự mãn, đó mới chỉ gọi là cái bước đầu tiên. And for now, I and Jill try to finding the class that can help us to manage student activity first. Bây giờ mình sẽ tìm cách định nghĩa cái class để giải quyết câu chuyện của manage sinh viên đã, chứ không thể để trong main được, vì trong main nó không mang tính chất là mở rộng. Now, back to this. Everything around us, whenever you work with the OOP, you think about the object, find the object, and multiple objects. Later on, combine them into the one group, and class was born. Nhìn các object xung quanh mình, tìm điểm tương đồng, nhắm vào một nhóm, và nhóm đó chính là class đã được khai sinh. So the class is the general name, danh từ riêng, xin lỗi, danh từ chung, for a set of shareable and similar things around us. Class chẳng qua là một cái tên nhóm cho những thứ tương đồng. Vậy thứ tương đồng này ở đây là gì? Đó. The list of students of SE department, a list of the students of a graphic department are the same. So the question right here is, what is the class that stands for the multiple department? Đấy, cái class nào có thể để đại diện cho multiple department to store the student of each department? Think about the class này. Cái nơi nào mà có thể giúp chúng ta lưu trữ thông tin đó, của các department, của hồ sơ của nó. Where is the place? What is the thing that help us to store multiple things in the real life, not in the programming? In programming, to store the multiple object with your array, it's okay. But in the real life, where? where we can find the array in the real life. Trong đời sống thực tế, chỗ nào ta có thể tìm được cái mảng? Nào, we make a Google search to see what. Now, I go search cabinet. I search cabinet. Oh, this makes me remember about a detective movie. I love the American movie so much, special for the investigate something. Tôi thích cái phim trinh thám. And you see, there are some private detective that does not satisfied with the police department. Có một vài gã mà nó không có hài lòng với cái việc xử lý của cái sở cảnh sát. So he's waiting until the midnight, and he goes to the police station and go to the room where to store the multiple criminal profile. Tức anh ta chỉ đến một cái sở cảnh sát và anh ta chờ ban đêm đến và anh ta quyết định là vào trong đó tìm cái hồ sơ. And you see the action like open, draw and finding a profile. And luckily he found the wanted one. Tức là vào trong cái tủ mở ra tìm cái hồ sơ. Oh. So in the real life, the thing that to store the multiple profile is a cabinet. Cabinet is tủ đựng hồ sơ in Vietnamese. You see, yeah, a list of profile. And think about the action. Open the door, put new profile, put a wanted profile into, and if sometimes you want to take one to process, to update, to put some image regarding to a new the old profile. Đấy, có những cái hành động là mở tủ ra lấy đồ, bỏ thêm đồ vô. We get the idea. We need a cabinet, a container, một cái thùng chứa in our coat to store the list of student profile. That is the clue for you to know how to create another kind of object. For now, the object is has so many methods to work with. Instead of get and set, as we get familiar with some previous class. Tức là bây giờ mình sẽ gặp những cái class nó phức tạp hơn, nó xử lý thông tin thay vì đó đơn là chỉ là lưu trữ như sinh viên. Bài toán này, bài toán phân tích cực kỳ quan trọng, nhận diện các đối tượng phức tạp hơn. Now, back to our code. I want to store the new more and more student profile in efficiency way, tức là trong cái cách phù hợp hơn, hiệu quả hơn. And I buy a cabinet, I buy a container, I create a container to store the list of students. Đấy, đây là cái cách mà mình nhận diện dần các đối tượng. So to study the OOP in the best way, just think about and link your problem with the real life object, and later on clone that object into a computer and programming environment. And that is a trick for you, a tip for you to work with the OOP. Cách làm việc OOP chính là mô phỏng thế giới thực. Thực sự cái cảm hứng của ngôn ngữ lập trình đối tượng chính là thế giới thực. Một object có nhiều hành vi, hành động và đặc tính. Tao với chúng mày có nhiều hành động đặc tính, thì person trong đây cũng có method and property. Nó là một đấy, nó là bí kíp đấy con. Now, for now, press right click on the student manager project. Right click on this. Create a new folder. Add new folder. Why I need to create a new folder? Entity mean we will map to database to store information, and some the traditional method like get and set and do nothing with student. But the student left together with the other one will produce a process like show me the best guy in this class, show me the worst guy in the class, show me the guy that come from the Đông Nai province, something like that. Tức là một mình thì chả có thông tin mẹ gì nhiều để xử lý, nhưng mà chúng mình ở gần nhau thì bắt đầu có xử lý. Tìm cho tao thằng học giỏi nhất, tìm cho tao những bạn ở Đồng Nai. Đó. So this kind of action and this kind of activity does not fit into the student class. It will put in another class. Sinh viên thì không thể tự xử lý những cái điều việc câu chuyện khác được. Nó phải là trong một cái bối cảnh chung của một lớn hơn thì sẽ có những hành động xử lý. Thì lúc này ta sẽ xuất hiện một cái loại class mới, processing class. That means the more and more the action in within this class. We focus on action instead of focus on the property. Tức là chúng ta sẽ xử lý nhiều hơn. Whenever I name this, you will think about the things you have met in the last course. P or G, Java Web, we also have the same. Now, I name this like in the Java, you may name it DAO. In Java, I think that you know about DAO. Data Asset Object. Mean the object mean a class that has multiple methods to process something. For example, process student information, lecturer information, or employee information. What to process with the employee, or employee to promote and to downgrade and to train the department or salary. Đó, cho nên cái class down là class nó sẽ xử lý dữ liệu. Ví dụ như xử lý nhân viên thì sẽ xử lý lương, thăng tiến. Với sinh viên thì là sắp xếp điểm số. Okay. So down mean data asset object. We will take the value and we process it. But I will change it to fit with the new architecture. I will new architecture design I will introduce later. We train it just because we move to another programming language, and I want to make you to think about the industry relevant. Mình sẽ đổi lại cái tên, cách đặt tên một chút xíu cho nó tương thích với từ giới công nghiệp. For now, I use services. Services. More and more complex. So stay focused. Tập trung. Please concentration. Tập trung. Services. Dịch vụ. Packet mới. And right click on this. Add class. Container. You can name container. It's okay, but for now, I make it more and more approach correlative with the real life, so I name cabinet. Cabinet. A box to store the multiple things. Like in a policeman station, trong cái tủ đựng hồ sơ của sở cảnh sát. Cabinet, not a cabin. Cabin is a place to allow the driver to drive. Cabin là cái phòng lái. At. So for now we have a cabin here, cabinet here. Yeah. Now it's time for 2 minutes. You know. Back to this. You see. Back to this. A cabinet will have an array, a more space to store information, like a hồ sơ, profile là hồ sơ. Multiple space, but each cabinet has a limitation of how many the space and how many profile it can store. Tức một cái tủ thì cũng có cái không gian hạn chế thôi, đâu có cái tủ nào theo kiểu túi thạch xanh. Unlimited. So we need to create a cabinet with a fixed size to show that I have ability to store something, a limitation with a number of profile I can store. Tức là cái tủ thì nó chỉ có thể lưu được một lượng hồ sơ. That is its property. That is its property. Its property is I have a list of more space, a number of spaces I can store things. Map to the programming environment, we declare an array to store something. That is a property of a cabinet now, and make it public. You should make it public to offer the zeros outside the namespace or outside the project. You know about this. Whenever we work with create class project now, class library, we make a cabinet like a box to store that has more space to store things. Đó là một cái hộp để lưu trữ thông tin, lưu trữ nhiều thứ. So it property attribute is an array. Maybe it has a name, it's okay. Maybe it has a color, it's okay. But I don't care about that. Color, label, manufacturer. But we focus on is to store the thing. But we focus on to store thing instead. Nhưng mà chúng ta focus vào cái việc lưu trữ dữ liệu nhiều hơn, cho nên we tạm thời bỏ qua. And I do not use the property private. I back to the backing field. Student. Oh, just try student again. To need to ask you to import to using. So student choose student test, enter, and I want to make list equal with new student 300. Oh, we have multiple and many profile to store, so I use the 300. Now, why don't I use the public get set in here? Get set in here. Get set. That is the question. Why I don't use get and set as I talked to you before? Yeah, we can make an array of a cabin. It's a attribute is okay and a property is okay, but why don't you get set? Like student we use get and set. But in this we use making fail. I use making fail. Do not answer me that, oh, it depends on you. No, I have a reason. Tôi có một cái lý do. Why? Think about how to build this cabinet. You buy the empty one, and you put your profile one by one. If you use the property You set the value of property, set the value of an array. Oh, you need 300 or multiple files and put it in one time. I don't think that is a normal case. Nếu mày có một cái tổ, nếu ghét thì nghĩa là phải đưa một cái mảng, tức là đưa 300 hồ sơ hay 200 hồ sơ vào cùng lúc. Chuẩn bị sẵn đưa vào. Đó không phải là không được, nhưng mà nó không phải là phổ biến. Put one by one, từ từ có hồ sơ mở đó, mở cho S. Đúng không? Bởi vì property là set. Property mean set and get. Set mean assign the value. But for now we have an array, not a concrete variable like this. This is a concrete variable. Or Gearbird, I have one Gearbird. I have one name. I have one email. So easy for me to assign one value. But think about, I have 300 hồ-sơ, 300 profile, need to assign immediately in one time. It's not a normal case. Nếu mình assign chỗ này là get set luôn, chữ lớn luôn, chỗ này là get set chẳng hạn. Nếu viết được chữ get set, nếu viết được nhé. Điều này có nghĩa là cùng một lúc. Oh, I need to put 300 in multiple profile at the one time. It's not a good way. It's not a common case. Case tức là không phải là cái thông thường. Get and set. No, it's not a common case. To zeros, open an empty cabinet. Put one by one. It's okay. So we move to a new strategy to design a class. Chúng ta đã chuyển sang một cái chiến thuật mới để thiết kế class. Whenever we work with multiple, đúng không? Nhà mình có một mình dễ, nhà có 3-4 anh em, bà con đến chơi, bắt đầu loạn rồi. Phải có cách cư xử khác, tư duy đấy con. Chúng mày học cao là học cái tư duy thiết kế OP, kéo phải là có vài dòng code thầy nói cả buổi. Cái bài khác bắt đầu áp dụng được rồi. Đấy mà là điểm quan trọng. Ta tự tin là giảng OP dễ thương. Chứ còn dăm ba cái dòng code viết nhanh. Nhưng mà tại sao biết cái đó thì mấy ai giảng. Whenever you encounter a new problem, it's time for you to decide how many classes you want to decide. Vậy nếu gặp một cái bài toán mới, đó là thời gian mình phải bắt đầu cân nhắc bao nhiêu class thì vừa. Which method to belong to which class is appropriate. Class nào có hàm nào là phù hợp. Depend on you. So it's time for you to train to shift your mind. Đó là cái cách để thay đổi cái tư duy. Nhưng tại sao tao giảng này, tao không bắt chúng mày gõ code luôn rồi, tao phải giải thích. Có lý do. And speak the reason in English it's not easy for you. Even for me, a challenge for me to explain about this in English. But I think that I work well with this. So why I don't use get set as normal as like in a student class? Think that you have never used the cabinet in the way that put 300 profile at once to fill in the cabinet. Không bao giờ. Think that you take one by one profile, slowly put it, each of it, into the cabinet. we rarely assign an array like property. By using one statement. We add, assign, and at once. Không bao giờ gắn một giá trị cho mảng bằng cách gắn bụp một cái thôi, rồi thôi. Thì nó nghe vô lý lắm. Mà không phải cấm. We assign the element of an array within an array, one by one. Yes, that is why I do not use properties. But I do not use a property, so it raises a problem. If I don't use the property and assign property list equal with, if I do not use this, like the student with the ID and email, but if I do not use the property, it's a rise a problem. So how to assign and when, how and where to put the code to assign one by one the element of an array. That introduce a new method, correct? A box, a container will introduce the root method to allow you to work with the spaces inside the box. Open the door of a box, put a thing. Open the door of a box to find things. Open the box, open the door of a box to take or decide one, to update, to modify it. Open the box. Open the door of a box to remove the old one. For example, the no longer use one. Correct mean create, retrieve, or read. But I love to use retrieve Retrieve means I need to collect from the various of things and to produce a unique one result. And rate means you are available and I can take it easy. But retrieve means a more complex action to take the value. Like I will talk it later. Update and delete. Let's talk a little about retrieve. Retrieve means read means select star. In database, but retrieve sometimes select some, average, and some more complicated. Select some and choice, left choice is more complicated over in combination with the select star. Select star means you are available, I only do it, take it. Easy task, easy activity, but retrieve means we need a theory and we need a algorithm to collect. Tức là nó khó hơn, nó phức tạp hơn, cho nên chữ retrieve nó mạnh tay hơn nha. And now we have the empty space, and for now the action to put a new profile. So public void add new profile. And one philosophy from here, one principle from here. If you want to add the information from the outside into inside, like take the new profile from the web page, from the touch screen, and from the desktop app or console app. Don't try to tie the input method with some specific method. Đừng có cố gắng gắn cái việc nhập dữ liệu vào trong cái việc xử lý này. It's make your code is less flexible. Nó khiến cho code của mày trở nên không được có linh hoạt. Điều gì xảy ra nếu I put the input method from the command line in here? So this class only used for command line. Whatever, if I want to use this code, but I want to receive the student profile from the web page, I make a web form like in Java web code in JSP and send the information into this class to process to store something. So if you try with the UI in here, your app is just work well with that kind of UI, but do not work well with the other UI. Cho nên khi cái code của mình nó gắn mã nó một cái UI nào đó thì nó bị fix. Nó bị fix rồi thì coi như mình muốn sang chuyển lại UI khác thì thua. Ví dụ tao muốn cái app này vừa nhập được trên dữ liệu trên bàn phím, vừa chạm màn hình screen, vừa trên trang web, thì tốt nhất là tách riêng việc nhập ra chỗ khác. Phần này chỉ xử lý thôi, đưa thông tin tao xử lý. So I am available to various of the kind of the input method. So in this case, I will take the parameter in here. I do not tie this method with some specific input method. Tôi sẽ không gắn cái hàm này với cái việc nhập dữ liệu, đưa dữ liệu tao xử lý. Vì nhiệm vụ của tao là xử lý hơn là việc nhập. Có thể nhập cũng là một dạng xử lý, để thằng khác lo việc nhập. Chia để trị. I have introduced a new philosophy and principle regarding to solid principle. Whenever you try to interview section, the interviewer will ask you about the question like, tell me about, have you ever know and heard about the solid principle? Solid, and I think I mentioned about the S first. Single responsibility, tính đơn trách nhiệm. a class don't try to solve so much different tasks and activity. It just focus on one thing. Nó chỉ nên tập trung vào một cái nhiệm vụ, one mission. Instead of a class that span out multiple mission. Đây là câu bài cái môn showbiz này là cực khó. Đặc biệt cái phần cuối cùng là chữ ai với chữ đi. Nó hay vô cùng. Và dự kiến năm tới ta sẽ quay hết phần này video này. Ta quay một phần trong dependency injection rồi. Nhưng đứa nào xài Springboard, IOC, inversion of control. Đấy là phần đỉnh cao của thiết kế code. Cho nên mấy thằng trong kia chúng mày vẫn tiếp tục chơi đi. Chứ mày nghĩ chúng mày đã biết rồi, tao chửi thẳng đấy. Chưa là gì đâu, mới basic thôi nhé con. Đi kiếm cơm ngoài đời, cái kiến trúc của Lazada, của Shopee, cái code đằng sau nó grab kinh hoàng, cực kỳ khủng bố về mặt kiến trúc code. Toàn là interface, dependency injection. Em phải đi từng bước một nhé con. Class không chắc, không biết phân biệt class nên có hàm nào, như thế nào. Đừng có nói làm kiến trúc lớn được. Tính đơn trách nhiệm, a single responsibility. Oh, this method does not tie with the input method. This method doesn't tie with the input method. To make the class more flexible, to serve multiple kind of apps. And so it's okay. Web is okay. Mobile is okay. And desktop is okay. So how it doesn't have the console dot read line, for example, to tie with command line. For example, đấy, đây là cái cách mà instead of it take the parameter, instead it take the parameter, the value via parameter. Now, or you repair the data in somewhere. You, user, developer, you repair data in somewhere out there. And I'm here to process your data. To store your data. Not to input data. Input data is the other guy will take it. The input data mission, the other guy will take it. That is the first thing, first philosophy and principle, single responsibility. Chúng mày trả lời cái này thì tay interview sẽ khóc trên vai chúng mày đấy. Just because for a long time he can find a nice guy to understand about how to design ineffective OOPR. Đó, effectively tức là một cái gã mà đã biết về mặt thiết kế phần mềm, who know well regarding to software architectural design. Đùa đâu mày, nghe tao ráng chịu. String ID. Oh, take the value ID, string name, string email. Oh, give me your email, give me your string. Oh, int grbert double GPA and give me, and I am stand here to have you to store and to process. So underscore less back to the Discord. Oh, student number index equal with new student with this assigned to a position in the array. So for now, oh, let's underscore equal with the problem right here, which position. Problem right here, since we have the multiple space to store the information, to store students' profile, but where to put into the array. We need to specify the index like the old code, the standard code, specify the index vị trí nào để lưu. Where is to store new student as normal. ID name tab. It's okay, but where to store? That is problem. Oh, you know, for the empty box, we put in the left and next and next and next. So maybe in the first call we use 0, but in the next call, next put number 1 and number 2 and number 3. But we do not know. But it different from the how to use the box. Oh, it's right the problem where is to put. So why don't we use account variable? Account means the current position and plus. Whenever you put 1, increase the count 1. Oh, and the count begin with 0, like you work with the normal array. Oh, now declare another variable to store the current position, where to put. So private int underscore count begin with 0. Oh, hiểu đến đây không? Dễ thương. To count, to know where to put to the array, and it will increase one by one. Will be increase one by one whenever we put a new profile, new student. Ok, vậy cái tụ nào bắt đầu với 0? Hình dung không? And we use it as a private, not a property. If you use it as a property, anyone can change its value. Not good. We control it in the internal. Left, next. We control the position instead of allow the end user to control it. And we will make the array with the empty in the middle. Nó sẽ khiến cái bảng nó lụng tùm lum. Đúng chưa? So do not think about the property in this. With the class that its responsibility is to process everything. Most of its property will be set as private, just for to avoid the side effect. Cái hiệu ứng lẻ, hiệu ứng ngoài mong muốn, hiệu ứng phụ là để bên ngoài nó kiểm soát là mình chết, nó lộn xộn. Now, so back to this. Underscore count begin with zero and later underscore count plus it suggests this tool is quite smart. It suggests you know that need to plus and plus. So for the first time we call this method, I put into the zero, but later zero increase by 1, and the next time we call that put into the 1 position and number 2 position, and so on until we reach to the limit 300. But for keep this code is more easy to understand. I do not check the top limit. Tại thời điểm này tôi không check limit là 300 chưa, 300 mà ép tiếp thì 301 chứ cha mình cái mạng. But understand this in the, tức là theo cái nguyên lý trước đã. In the principle first. Now, it's okay for us to add a new profile. And for now, print the list. To see the whole, to see all profiles available now. Public void print list, student list. CW, there are students in the box, but there are how many? Try to count it. Underscore count. I will singular and plural. It's because if I have just add only one profile, in this case, it shows the singular and plural. It depends the context. Nó sẽ show ra số ít hay số nhiều, tùy một sinh viên hay là 5 sinh viên. Now, for which form? For each or for in the traditional? For each or for a traditional, for I, for E, or for each. Do not zero for each. Search for each, it will scan the whole of the array, scan the whole of the box, and you will see multiple empty space. You fall to the count. Có đúng không? Tủ đâu có đầy đâu. Đầy thì coi như ok, nhưng mà không đầy thì phải fall đến cao chứ. Không nhìn thấy đống trống. Look at this. You see, many empty. So if you use for I and the traditional, from the 0 to the end, for each, you will scan the on of the array. No, it's not good if the cabinet is still have so many spaces, empty spaces. So 4 to the count instead of 4 to the end for all. Now, for tap underscore count and CW as normal underscore list I. That's okay for the basic method. Understand what I mean? For bình thường. And in this case, to string again là as I suggest in the early of today, to sing in background. gọi thầm tên em. And for now, we are ready to seal the cabinet. We are ready to seal the box. It's okay. Back to the box. Program. Back to the man. It's time for us to seal the box. Like this. Cabinet. Oh, in the service. Okay. SE box. I want to store the SE software engineering department profile by new. And luckily, I have another box. For example, this box. You know, we have two separate arrays in the background. Back to this. We have declare an array, and whenever we new cabinet, that means we new an array and a separate count variable. Later on, we new base box. We have another memory zone to have a separate array and count. And for now, we are ready to store the two different lists of students. Later on, the school asks, oh, I want to store the AI student in separate weight. It's okay. New cabinet come into the play. Cho nên bạn muốn lưu bao nhiêu thì bạn cứ new bấy. SE box, open the door at new student. Okay. SE1 and I use alphabet order. Email and assign 2020 or 3 GPA lucky number. It's okay. Time for us to write this. SE2 Bing in alphabet order. Bing in the difference 2004 and 6.8 in the opposite weight. Kiểm tra một chút xíu coi. Okay. Now I need a base student. Base student. Base not SE. Base mean SS in our school. SS1. Hướng 2005 8.8 and Giống SS2 Giống with the private name I use uppercase 2006 6.6. And for now, we are ready to see CW, the base students and base dot print all, and I make a copy SE student and SE. So for now, you know about single responsibility. And check it. run it to see the result. Nước sông không đụng nước giếng. In separate places. And if the school asks you to store the information of a new department, it's not a problem. A new cabinet. Even we can bring it in the different order. Now, there are two students. It's okay for this is SS. There are two students for SE. Different memory section. Different. As in real life, we have a two cabinet. Ở ngoài đời có hai cái tủ. Việc nào đó việc đấy. It's okay. It's so quite exciting. And for the last amazing thing, for the last, hope you all get well for this. Now, for the practical exam, I do it nearly like the practical exam. But for now, I ask you to put some more effort. I leverage the difficulty of this solution. Help me to store the information of the lecturer also. Tôi muốn tăng độ khó của game một tí. Làm sao lưu được thông tin của cả giảng viên nữa. In the same way. That means, think about, so I create a student and a lecturer plus, okay. But then later on, I make a cabinet for student and cabinet for lecturer. It's okay? Okay, but not okay. Why do you need to create two cabinets? One for student, one for lecturer. I think that student and the lecturer are the same in this case. So why we don't make a cabinet for storing student, lecturer, and even employee or dog or cat? A general way. Begin with, I introduce a little, and during the test, I will make a live stream about this in more and more detail. Just a hint for you, solution to make you have a good inspiration to work with further with the programming field. Tôi sẽ viết một phần nhỏ thôi để mình kết thúc lớp, để lấy cảm hứng cho việc mình livestream tiếp. Và kỹ thuật này cực kỳ cao cấp, cực kỳ dễ thương, và chúng mày đã xài rồi. If you have you, I will talk to you about this kind of symbol. Student, lecturer, luxury solution, giải pháp cực kỳ tinh tế. Now, for now, we work with this a little before we finish the end the party. New project. Not new project in the old solution, a new solution. Can show up, of course, and this is I reach to nearly to the all step of the practical exam task. Tôi đang chạm đến gần như tất cả các bước mà cần phải làm cho bài KPE luôn. In the with this solution, can show up. And next, now choose the year and school manager. Yeah, a fantastic solution. Year and school manager. And for project, man GUI mean graphic user interface. Man GUI mean this is the project that allows you to import something, single responsibility. And for the next, I will create some other project to manipulate the data. Some manipulate the data. Some take a responsibility of the input and output information. Yeah, some. regarding to the connectivity with the database. Now, choose the folder. Let's spend some more minutes. Collection. Yeah, in the section collection, select folder. Manage UI. GN's for manager. And next. .NET 6 is okay. Choose .NET 6 to conform with the scope requirement. Examination machine. Now we have a main method. I don't care about main method at this time. Now right click on this. Right click on the solution to create a new project. Another new project. A new project beside beyond the project, a main UI project. And do not choose console. We create a library to make sure our code available to use in outside. We make a library instead of console app. And I think that you do it already, did it already in the some previous class. But if you do not see the class library, don't worry about this. Just click on this, type class, which is that. Whenever you work with a library, DLL before, class library, next. Now, if someone to work with the string boot, you will see, I name this, the project name, repository. Repository means a project that holds many classes regarding to work with the database later. Store information. Repository. Whenever you work with a string boot, chắc chú bài có quen. Repository, ideal, plural, số nhiều. It's okay. Now, next. .NET 6 is okay. Create. You will see the tone will supply for you a class 1, not man, no man. Oh, I am here to offer the class and the method for you to use. I am later on will be in the package as a DLL, you know. And if you want to work with me, I have no man, but I have multiple methods. So you may by make a reference dependency. Have you ever remember about this? Thấy kiến thức chưa? Another project. Add new project. Lệ phí đổi ngành 2.350.000. I do not know how to translate this sentence into English. To change the specialization or the major, it cost 2 more million Việt Nam đồng. Choose the class library. Library again. Next. And services. Oh, I know about this, but in the previous solution, use services as a folder. But for now, we elaborate it as a services, a project, just because our app really more complicated and complex with multiple domain. Domain tức là những cái lĩnh vực, những cái kiến thức mà chúng ta cần phải giải quyết cho cái app này nó to. For now, những cái class dịch vụ đó tôi tách thành project luôn, thay vì chỉ là một cái folder services. And this is you must know about it and remember this, just because in the same 100% exactly the same with the PE task. Bài PE test phải làm giống như trang này. Đang làm rồi. Services. Lệ phí đổi ngành 2.350.000. Think about the trend major to create a brighter future, để tạo ra một tương lai sáng lạng. Okay. Now we have 3 different projects, but this one has a man as normal. Let me first And I will call repository to store the information. I will call the services to help me to process something. I have introduced to you the three-layer architecture. Three-layer architecture means we separate the relative activity in corresponding project. Học kiến trúc 3 lớp đấy. It's not like MVC, and the MVC tool you know in the Java web course. No, it's not like, không giống như một Java web. Yeah. Now, do not make it a startup. Do not make it as a startup project. Startup project in here. Now, but for now, I want to you from this to this, make the dependencies you know about this. And back to repo. Repo means I store the information. So right click on repo, add new folder, entities. Some more minutes. Add new class as normal student. Add more class like lecturer. As you know about this, but for now I separate the entity and entity to another project, appropriated project, since we have multiple data to manage. Đấy, khi dữ liệu bài toán cho quản lý trường đại học nó phức tạp, mình tách riêng ra. Remember that we also have a subject, tên môn nữa, đưa vào đây. Semester, put it in here, đưa vào đây. Học kỳ, grade, bảng điểm đưa vào đây. Schedule, put it in here, lịch thi, thời khóa biểu. Here, multiple classes for storing the information of our activities, daily activity. Now, services, we create a class like cabinet used for both lecturer and student. Do not create a separate cabinet for each of them. One class to fix all entities. That is the topic. It's so exciting. Now, right click in here. Do not need to create a new class. Right click and to rename it like cabinet. Hit enter. It will ask you, oh, I want to change the overall of the solution. As you agree with it, yes. And for now, we have a cabinet. But public is okay. Now, make the lecturer, back to lecturer, public. To available to you outside public. It's okay. Public. And for now, public class student, public class lecturer. And you know how to put the parameter in here. Put the parameter in here. Enter. Put property here to string here. It's okay. And lecturer is the same, student is the same. Do it as the home. Do it as the home. Now, to make sure that the student and lecturer can put into the cabinet, so we need to do it. Make the dependency at reference. Remember this? Cabinet. We need to declare an array of student, array of lecturer in cabinet like previous solution. So we need to add the dependency from this. Oh, I want to zero. So click on this. Add dependency. We have done it in the week 3. Choose repository. Remember this? add dependency, add project, choose this one, and then press OK. Now, click on project, you see? Oh, for now, I know how to call and make a connection with the repo. Don't forget to tick on copy to local. Còn nhớ không? Quên mẹ hết rồi. Bởi vậy, nên thằng nào tự tin rằng đã biết mà không chăm chú vào học của tao chọn đồ. Remember this. I have mentioned about this already. 5 first step of 18 steps I have just talked to you. Now, and for now, cabinet available to you. And as normal, private student. Oh, so student for you to use an array underscore list 1 equal with new student 300 as normal, and of course private lecturer list 2, just because we maintain 2 different lists, equal with new lecturer 300. It's okay. But so we also need int underscore count just for the first one list, count 2 for the list 2. Oh, no, it's not good. What happens if I have to store the employee, safeguard, bảo vệ, and the other object? No, it's not a good way to make a comment. No, just a student, lecturer, or something else. Why don't you like that? T means type. Any kind of class you can put here. And for now, we use only one statement to fix all. I don't know what type do you want to use. I don't know. T means type. Lần đầu tiên trái thanh long có trong mì tôm. The first time we know how to pass the data type into a class. In this time, you take the data type as a parameter. Kiểu dữ liệu là một tham số luôn, thay vì dữ liệu là tham số. Int the upper, no, data type as a parameter. Generate. Later on, when you want to do it, oh, cabinet student. Box, SE box, equal with new cabinet. Whenever you want to do it, cabinet. It's so exciting. But if I want to store the lecturer, this is not problem with me. Just replace with the lecturer. Lecturer and something else if you want. Only one array. T means student, T means lecturer, T means whatever data type you want. That technique is so called generic. I don't care about your data type. Just put it. I will handle it. You get a family with a list student in Java. In Java, list student list equal with new array list student. You know about this? You know about this? Oh, so exciting. I let you to do the method print out and the add method. just you teach, not student and lecturer. That is the topic. Extraordinary sources. Just, I think we finish it here. Just make you some inspiration about keep continuing with studying during the test. And during the test, I will do it. Go with continuing with this one, both in Vietnamese version and one English version for you. And I think that is a good way and good strategy to work with multiple kind of data type. And don't think about it kind of inheritance. No, it's a generic. Data type as a parameter. So I think that is that all. And you know how to make an app and the pronoun which is using T, not focus on anyone specific. That is how I break down the secret behind the array list and list, as you know, in the Java. And we have the same in the C#. So meet you again during the live stream and the video, offline video for you all. Don't miss our video, and we keep continuing with studying the C# during the test and after the test. Yeah, as our culture for the New Year, we always send the happy message and the wish to the all around us. So let me to send the best wishes and good luckily to you all and to your family, and hope you will get a good health in the new year and a good study progress in the new year. And later on, thank you so much for today, for the year and coach party today, and see you in the live stream and the video and the next class session after the test in the new year. Thank you for all. And for the guy who are present today, I will give a big bonus mark, bonus point for the column. Understand what I mean? All of you are here will get the bonus point for the sum of the grade column in the transcript. But do not tell to your friends until to the end of the week, just because I have the multiple classes today and tomorrow. So you are get the bonus point, but do not tell with your friend, or maybe tomorrow with a full of class. Understand what I mean? Không nói với đám bạn cho đến hết ngày thứ bảy. Thì tôi còn mấy lớp nữa để xem thằng nào tích cực học thì thằng ấy được tưởng thưởng, hiểu chưa? Chứ không phải vì được tưởng thưởng chúng nó mới đi học, không phải. Phải có bất ngờ. That is a small gift I give to you all. Best wishes to you all and see you all in the next year. Thank you for your check attendance.